Hey folks, guess what? Obviously, we are back home. That 30 days went by real quick in the Philippines. Had some fun. Ran into quite a few snags while we were there. But all in all, it was an okay trip. I don't want to complain too much, but yeah, there's some stuff for me to rant and rave about. One of the highlights of our little vacation there was the resort. Karina rented out this resort. It was huge, just palatial, big. The pool was just huge, biggest thing I've ever seen. Beautiful night, very luxurious. Swam all night. Accommodated about 20 plus people, and it only cost like $215 US for the whole thing. That was awesome. But like my buddy Rick Shaw said, Rick Shaw Philippines, who shout out to Rick Shaw Philippines, who is now Rick Shaw in Ohio. He lives in an undisclosed place in Ohio, United States. He told me a while back, he says, 2 weeks there isn't enough. Last time I was there for 2 weeks. This time we were there for a month. He says, stay a month, and then, you'll draw your own conclusions. And that I did. I'm so glad to be home. As soon as we hopped off that airplane into San Francisco, the air was different. I don't care how expensive it is here in the United States. Oops, I just kicked the camera. I don't care how expensive it is here in the United States. I love where we live, okay? It's just, out there in the Philippines, it's not my style, The people are nice, I can tell you that much. The people are wonderful, okay? But to me, it just seems that everything is backwards. It's backwards there, Stuff gets done and it works, it's functional, but it just seems that everything's just backwards. It's really kind of hard to explain. But while we were there, Karina and I took care of some important things, as far as the infrastructure of the apartment building, which is still under construction. First floor is done for the most part, and is occupied with tenants. But we took care of some stuff like, generator, had that hardwired with, not hardwired, but set up for hardwire with a circuit breaker with 220 that plugs into the generator. And that functions quite well. It does. I ran it for a good 45 minutes. Don't want to get into complicated details of how it works, but pretty much cuts off the power to the whole place. And then the generator powers the whole place, including all the refrigerators in all 3 apartments. Don't try the air conditioner. Don't take that risk. But then again, it's a big circuit breaker, so that worked out really good. Ran it for a good 45 minutes, and place lit up just fine. So that was a major accomplishment, much needed because power goes out there when it rains. There were other things that we had to take care of, like screen doors. That I'm calling shenanigans on. Okay, I didn't have any involvement in that. But it was fun. It was entertaining. Watch that part be put together with mismeasurements. How do I say it? So there's 3 apartments downstairs. 2 of the doors are exactly the same size. The third one is larger. Okay. I don't know why they did it like that, but they did it. But the guy who did the screens, he took measurements on the largest door and did all the cuts for the other 2 doors as well. And then, so he shows up, starts putting the frame in, and it's too big. And he's like looking around, he's like trying to figure it out. Well, and I knew, but I stayed out of it. You know, I stayed out of that one. I just wanted to see how that train wreck was going to turn into a train wreck, which it kind of did. But long story short, he ended up cutting everything almost right, or having to recut it, coming back the next day. It took about, I don't know, 3 hours per door, per screen door. And they're solid screen doors, you know, but now that they're all installed, each one has their own flaw, okay? So one of them, the spring doesn't work. Oh well, they just leave it like that. The second one, he had to chisel away on the cinder blocks to get the frame to fit. Finally got it to fit, but it's crooked, okay? Not too bad, but it's crooked. Now the third one, the lock works, okay? But when you lock it from the outside, you're locked in from the inside. So the only escape if there's a problem and you can't get out is either to bust through that screen door or jump out the window. Guess what? They just leave it like it. Leave it like it is. I told Karina, this is wrong. She's like, oh well, you know. So at some point, through I stay there, I decided to just go, oh well, you know. Things are backwards there, but you know the intentions are good. It's just, you know, there's this investment, you know, that my wife has made, and everything is being done half-assed. One thing that did go good, got a shout out to Rick Shaw, Philippines again, regarding the cinder blocks, okay? He mentioned to me about a year ago, maybe a little bit more, about cinder blocks, and he also did some stuff on his YouTube videos of the place he had built. Apparently they like to build the cinder blocks cheap, you know, cheap pouring, thin concrete, however, and he's showed us through videos, you know, he's karate chopping them and they're falling apart. So I told Karina a while back, it's like, you know, this is after the septic tank was built and before we started building upwards, you know, with rebar and cinder blocks. I says, you gotta make sure that these cinder blocks are built with quality concrete, okay? Quality mix, quality molds, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? She listened to me! Because those cinder blocks are solid. This place, regardless of the cosmetics, it's a fortress. It'll survive a freaking big ass typhoon. No problem. I'm confident in that. Structurally, it's good. Cosmetically, yeah, we have an architect, or she has an architect. I met the architect. She's a nice girl. I think she's a girl. You know what I mean. But there's no aesthetics to it. There's no I don't want to say fancy, but there's no style to it. It's just like walls, doors, and windows. There's nothing like fancy about it. But all in all, it is a, you know, it's structurally sound. It's good. But you know, aside from that, you know, we went out and did some things. The malls there in the Philippines are superior. The shopping malls there are superior to any mall here in the United States, to my knowledge. They're big, they're beautiful, they're extravagant. You have all the stores that you need. It's amazing how a developing country could have such a nice frigging such nice freaking malls. There's quite a few of them, but they're all beautiful. They're great. They're populated. People head out there on the weekends. The weather's nice and cool in there. You can get anything you want, and things are so affordable there. That's another positive about, you know, the Philippines, is everything is just cheap. Yeah, some stuff is cheap quality, but you can get quality stuff like our not air compressor. What is it? The really brain fart. Where's this video going? Generator. It's quality. It works. It's loud. There's no muffler on it, but it functions quite well, and we got a smoking deal on it. But yeah, you can get pretty much anything you want out there if you got the money, and if you do have the money, still it's still, you know, far less than what you would pay here in the United States. However, you know, 1 month there kind of like opened my eyes a little bit, and you know, after week 2.5, week 3, I was ready to go home. You know, the air is thick. Of course, there's heat. You know, our air conditioner worked excellent. It's brand new, split unit, and it gets cold, like bone-chilling cold if you want it. But the contrast between going inside and outside kind of taxed my body a little bit. The last week and a half that I was there, I was really tired. Like my body was just like, you know, on top of the back pain and stuff like that. So, you know, the last week I was there, I kind of, you know, I went out a little bit, but for the most part, I stayed inside the place, you know, laid down on the bed, played on my phone, watched, you know, movies on, you know, Amazon Prime. Our Netflix doesn't work in that region, which kind of sucks because Netflix is better than Amazon as far as movies go. But that's besides the point. You know, had a good time there, ran into some snags, but like I said, you know, as soon as I got off the plane at the airport in San Francisco, it was just like, I'm home. And as soon as we walked into this place, our apartment, I was like, oh my God, I felt even better. It's like, oh my God, my bed, love my bed, you know, consistent showers. I can flush my own toilet. You can flush the toilet there, but the way it works is, you know, it's a tankless toilet, so you have to use a tabo, which is no big deal. But we, you know, we got through it and handled some other, you know, clerical business as far as another property goes. You know, finally figured out the exact value of it, which is a lot more than what I had done research on. Yes, I was wrong. You know, I thought it was like worth like $22,000. This is just land, not house, on a different property. Come to find out, it's close to $60,000. So, you know, when the time comes when Karina's going to sell it, you know, she got her title. It's going to be a good thing. So she'll have to fly out there, obviously, because she has to physically be there. Sell it. Half that money is going to go to completing the construction on the apartment, and we're just going to keep the rest out here, you know. But yeah, that's all I got. We're back home. I don't care how expensive it is out here in California, okay? There's no place like home. I feel like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. But no, in reality, yeah. You know, I was born and raised out here in the United States, in California. And, you know, I'm not knocking Philippines. The culture there is great. The people are nice, you know, but it's just not my style. It's not my speed. So having said that, next time we go back, you know, to visit, I'm only going to stay 2 weeks. I'm not going to stay a month. A month is like too much for me. But 2 weeks is just fine because I already know what's up out there. you know, it's just not my style. But all in all, we had a good time, you know, aside from this couple snags, but you know, shit got taken care of in the end. The important things got taken care of. The stuff that needed to be done right got done right. The other stuff, well, that's on them. You know, that's on them and Karina. But anyways, folks, I think I've babbled enough. I'm back home. We're gonna try and make more vlogs, food stuff, anything stuff. I don't know, and I don't care. Till next time, see you.